Hey everybody, what's up? Wanted to share a cool thing that I do. Well, I think it's cool. Almost every day. So for what we do at work, a lot of times is we have an object and we always want a shadow underneath it. So I don't have to worry about rendering out a separate shadow pass because we always need it anyways. So I just keep it in the render. Now that allows us to take it and put it on any sort of background we want and maintain that shadow. But the issue with shadow is if I put it on a white background and that white background needs to be a certain size, I don't want my shadow to extend past because I don't want it to look like there's a hard line, such as if I add this plane in, we hit render, and if I turn this into a shadow catcher, right here, we're going to have a hard edge. And I really just want what's in here. And I might not want the shadow this dark, or I might want it darker. So what I do is I go to the shadow catcher. Let me make this bigger. Let's look through my camera. Okay. So I'll add in an image texture. So just image texture. And we're in Octane. I haven't tried this in Cycles. So I'm not sure if it works in Cycles. But plug this into your opacity channel and open up this right here. So I usually have this shape. I have a circle. I have a rectangle. It just kind of depends on the object, but those three shapes, you can just make them in Photoshop, will pretty much get you everything you need. So I'll open that up, and already you can tell that changed. Check this out. You'll see those hard edges all around. Opacity. So now, I don't want the shadow to extend this far, so what you can do is, I usually put a box projection on it. That way it just lays flat. And then a full transform, which sometimes this isn't needed. And a gradient. So now I can actually bring in that outline. But when I do that, it gets sharper, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scale this plane in a little bit. There. And say this is what I want, except I don't want the shadow to be that dark. So I come over here, I just bring this down, and that lightens up my shadow. So what we can do is we can go to render this. We'll just do low, 100 samples, put on alpha channel, and I'm going to go to my camera, make sure my denoiser is on. What? Oh. Yep, denoising. So I'm just going to hit render. F12, if you don't know. Alright, so that rendered. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this image, save as test, sure. And I'm going to take that image. Desktop, lounger, test, drag that into Photoshop. All right, so here's Photoshop. And now I can add a layer. Make sure my default colors are black and white. You just hit D, and then to switch these, you hit X. Then I'm going to click this layer. I'm going to hit Alt Delete, and that'll just fill whatever your front layer is here. There, now I have my shadow. I don't have any crazy hard edges around the sides. If later on we want to do, I don't know, a blue background of some sort, we can put it on a blue background and we still have our shadow. Everything looks awesome. And if you like this chair, I absolutely love Eyemash. Here's Eyemash right here. This is actually the lounger that I downloaded. So I think I typed in chair and then I searched. And they have this cool thing called Eyemash exclusive. So you pay one price per year and you get access to just a crap load of ArcViz stuff, which is super helpful for me because I do a lot of architectural, visual, fabric, upholstery, all sorts of stuff. I know not a lot on my channel. Maybe I'll do more. I probably will do more actually, now that I'm using this site a lot more. But so I just cleared my search and now I'm searching by just exclusive, meaning I can download anything you see coming up. So all these ones that cost, I don't have to pay for any of that. Those will all go away, I mean. And there's always new stuff. Like all of this was not here like 2 weeks ago when I last looked at it. Maybe some of the trees were. But it's really high quality and they usually give you cycles and they give you Corona render for Blender. So like, yeah, this is like a whole entire scene, which is great for learning, kind of rebuilding, experimenting on your own. So I can actually show you what I did right here. So this lounger is one of their loungers. It's the one I just showed you guys. But all I did was I just disconnected the regular material and I just made it Octane compatible. So it's literally the same thing, just a glossy map and then a bump map. But it looks so good. Here, let me pull this up. So the preview, what is it, 0 just goes for forever, is it? I don't remember. I honestly have not been in Blender for a while now. Let's see. Yeah, all right, good enough. Look at that. You can see the weave pattern in there, the bump map. Looks a little plasticky, how I made it. I just changed some of the defaults, which fabric, this is how it came in. I have a little sheen going on here. And essentially, I just copied this. It's the same thing. So they've got a Fresnel mixed with this patchy pattern. And this patchy pattern, you can just pipe that right into the albedo, that right there. So I don't want this to show up at every angle. Or, well, they didn't want it to show up at every angle. So usually Fresnel, you kind of see it around the edges. But what I did was I made it more like a sheen. So if you've ever seen fabric and you kind of get down low, you have this nice white sheen over it, depending on the fabric. But I took this and the patch. I took the patch and I mixed it with a fall off texture. That is like the Fresnel texture. And if we plug that in here, so you don't see those patches looking at it at this angle. But if you come down, how the light's kind of grazing off of it, it's picking up those patches, which is really cool. And then I wanted the base color, so I just added the base color into the patchy pattern. Ignore this, that was something dumb. And then I mix those together, so I get the proper material and I get that cool patchy effect. Yeah, it's super cool. And then same thing, they have a glossiness, which Octane uses roughness, which if you do glossiness, it'll be super shiny. So you just need to invert it. There you go. And then you just plug the bump map in, or the normal map into the normal map slot. Yeah, super cool. Really fast. And then for the plastic, I just did the same thing. Remember that's one I just showed you. Yeah, one of these I just showed you. And I just wanted a regular black material. I didn't want anything on the legs. So that's just a normal map. And then this back plastic here. You can see that texture, nice light fall off. And again, we're using Octane, so it's stupid fast. But I really think that yellow was kind of cool. I'm gonna put that back in there because why not? Make it different. I don't want to make it look exactly like what I downloaded. I mean, unless that's exactly what you want, but it's kind of fun to mix stuff up, kind of make it your own. If you're not familiar with what I'm doing here with the nodes, go back to some of my other videos that I show you some how-tos on materials and getting started with Octane. That way you're not lost and you can download and do your own stuff. And I'm actually going to put a code down in my description. If you guys want to sign up with Eyemash, use that code and you'll get 10% off, which is awesome. There's a ton of stuff you can use. Like I said, scenes, all sorts of furniture, all sorts of assets. And they have a really awesome YouTube channel too. Even if you don't use Corona Renderer, and I think their last couple ones, they worked in cycles. Super informative when it comes to interior lighting and setup, and kind of common practices when you're doing architectural and interior renderings, such as camera placement, focal length, rotation, height, stuff like that. It's really cool. I love their stuff. But anyways, yeah, this was just a really quick tutorial on how to get that custom shadow. Yeah. So I'm going to put this on. I don't know if I can put the chair on here. I'll download a free model and then I'll put that on my Patreon so you guys can download it and play with the scene. Yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. And I should be recording some more tutorials here shortly. I've been busy with a new company, so I will get back to it as soon as I can. All right, see you guys.